If you think the movie is slow, it may be because you approached it thinking that Scorsese was going to make Goodfellas again. He spoke a lot about how this movie wouldn't be Goodfellas. I mean, why would it be? He made that film 30 years ago. He's a different person now. The movie is about an old man reflecting on a wasted life, on his values, thinking about death and the afterlife, which is where Scorsese is now. The Irishman is exactly the kind of gangster film an 80-year-old would make. Somber, reflective. It's actually a stripped out antithesis of Goodfellas. It's what Unforgiven is to The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Even the opening scene, the long take in the old people's home. Take a look at this complaint I saw online. Underwhelming is what I think of it. It has all the trademarks of a Scorsese movie, but it's not backed by a very interesting script. Take the initial scene, the usual steady camera shot with no cuts. We followed the camera around for a big reveal, and where does it land us? To a sitting old man. It's like Netflix told Scorsese what they wanted without caring if it fitted or not, and Scorsese took the big check and complied. But that's the point! Scorsese has said that the scene is a deliberate riff off the famous Copacabana shot in Goodfellas. What the complainers said about it is exactly what it set out to achieve. The movie is not made by the man who made Goodfellas. That man retired after The Wolf of Wall Street. This is made by the guy who made Silence, who made Killers of the Flower Moon recently, whose next film is a Jesus biopic. The point being is that Scorsese has evolved and he's in a different place now to where he was 30 years ago, and it shows in his movies, his characters and themes he explores in his films. It is actually a point very well worth making that many things people don't like about the film are intentional. People arguing and dying over ice cream and wearing shorts to a meeting. It sounds stupid, but that's the point. It's highlighting the mob codes for the absurdities they are. Didn't you notice Pesci laughing when Pacino complains to him about Tony Pro and the ice cream? The mafia makes mistakes in this film. They kill Sally Bugs because someone forgot to tell someone something. The Joe Gallo hit is clumsy and all over the place. Sheeran didn't hit him right and Gallo hobbles out of the restaurant because that's how murders often are in real life. I know some people feel the first half of the film is like a greatest hit retread of what he's done before, and that's fair, but it's necessary to go through all that for the ending to work. We need to feel like it's a full life lived, rushed past until Sheeran finds himself as an old man in a wheelchair. The scene where a frail Pesci and De Niro and the grape juice in jail wouldn't have the same effect if you didn't have the mirror scene of them early at the prime of their lives. These powerful forces of nature reduced to old men. De Niro picks out his own casket, knowing nobody will come to his funeral. He falls in the hall and doesn't call out for help because there's nobody there. The rug is pulled from beneath your feet, the glitz and glamour of Goodfellas and Casino laid bare for the emptiness it is. Sheeran's notion of a code and following orders and whatnot. In the end, he's just a rotten old criminal having alienated his family. He was a killer who put all his energy into blindly following orders and pleasing the wrong crowd. In the end, he's left alone, wondering if it had any value. Remains of the Day style. The movie is told from the stoic henchman's point of view, the faceless, unimportant background character who adds nothing of value and never questioned his choices until it was too late. His only contribution being killing a man who had actual value. And even at the end, he can't bring himself to feel remorse for most of the murders he's done. There's only a hint at regret over making the phone call to Hoffa's wife, reassuring her after he's killed her husband. The nurse doesn't even know who Jimmy Hoffa is, and we just watched 2 hours of Hoffa being the center of Sheeran's life. That's how unimportant Sheeran's life is. It makes you think about your own life. What will I look back on? What will I cherish? Is what I value now the same as what I will value on my deathbed? It's like the scene in The Sopranos where Junior with dementia is told he and his brother ran New Jersey, and he's like, "We did? That's nice." And that's all his life means in the end. It's a fantastic concept, and the entire film builds towards the last half an hour. What happens when the classic Scorsese protagonist grows old after the credits start rolling? And it's intentionally emotionally distant. It doesn't manipulate its audience, treat you like a sucker with dramatic sad music or anything. It allows you to come up with your own opinion of Sheeran, whether you're happy that he's suffering as an old man getting punishment, or whether you feel for him. Al Pacino was on fire in this film. Joe Pesci gave us a quiet and reserved, powerful performance, showing us he was capable of something different, and De Niro quietly carries the movie. The Irishman gives us some of the best scenes of Martin Scorsese's career. Pesci and De Niro up in the hall on Frank Sheeran Appreciation Night, De Niro's phone call with Hoffa's wife, Frank's desperate attempts to get Hoffa to see reason, Buffalino telling Frank it's going to happen either way. The movie is full of amazing character moments and improv, and we get gems if you notice, like De Niro wishing Joe Gallo's bodyguard a happy birthday,